Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's your boy Nerdicane here again. Really slow day as far as new comic book day. It was just like Batman Death Machine, a few other indie comics, and then thought it was going to be a slow, boring day. I thought I wasn't going to have anything to buy. Robotech number 3 came out. It totally slipped my mind because two came out like the week that Dragon Con was going on, so I was pretty preoccupied with Dragon Con stuff, which is why I bought it after Dragon Con and then did the video afterwards. But this, fresh off of the stands, fresh off the print, uh, there has never been a comic book, one single comic book that I have been more qualified to do a review of. As former Air Force and as a chef, this comic book hits on both of them, and I'm kind of going to pick it apart a little bit. This isn't a roast. I'm going to poke fun at it. It's a buy. It's a good book. I just love Robotech. I realize that I'm going to buy all of these because I want my son to read these someday, and he's like 9 months old now, so he's got a little while before he can read it. But this is a good introduction to the series. It's a good update. They've done some edits on the original one, which so far I've kind of liked. But let's get to it. Credit where credit's due. This is a really tight group of people just like making it. You're not dealing with like 6 or 7 or 10 people making a comic book. And this picture right here, I don't know if Marco Torrini did this or if this was stock footage or a stock image from Robotech before, but God, that is gorgeous. That is, of Skull Leader, that is absolutely gorgeous. The proportions are right. Everything's right about it. I hope we get more work like this from going forward. I would prefer this to be the cover over this, because this is like a selfie. It's like he's taking a selfie. She's got a weird dark outline around her. I don't know. I would prefer this to be the cover. I don't know if there were any variant covers, but we pick up on the SDF-1. They're out by Pluto. They just did a space fold and basically took the city and the island with them, as well as this tuna right here. Should we name this tuna? You guys name the tuna in the comments, and that'll be the name of the tuna. Right off the bat, like, the chef in me saw this tuna floating and said, hey, that's probably a really expensive tuna. Somebody should go get that tuna. But, yeah, the plane's crashed. It's on the SDF-1. They don't know where it is. And surprise, surprise, he doesn't know how to get anything to work because he stole the plane. Here we go. A little fan service for you guys for this from Min May. First, here they are eating some rations. I don't know why he would have rations on him or in the plane, because he stole the plane, first of all. And if they were on there, how would he know where they are, because he doesn't know jack about the plane? So, yeah, I'm just going to skip. So I don't get a copyright strike, I'm going to skip the next page because they really don't say anything. They're just kind of blah, 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 back and forth. Here's one of the weird things I saw. Every once in a while, there'll be a weird art thing in the book, and I don't know why. But you see the SDF-1 here, and these are parts of it that, when it transforms, are the arms. But if you look at it, you can see that they're not attached. They're supposed to be like arms, like an arm part going here to there. You just really see nothing, and they're just floating there. And I don't know why exactly. It's weird. It's a weird little nuance, but it's just something that, in a shot like this, these two things should be close up against the body of the SDF-1 because they're attached. In this shot, they're not, which is kind of strange to me. We go back to Rick and Minmay, and she's doing kind of the common, like, sassy girl thing, like, I didn't ask for your help. And he really just shuts her down. He basically says, think about what you're saying. Think about how stupid that sounds. And then that's her reaction. This is great. I wish this is when people start yelling about like just inane political things. I really want to start making this my response to them, because back when I was in the military, there was a guy, I had a supervisor named Danny Wells. I don't know where he is. I hope you're doing well, Dante Wells. You're my boy. I miss you. But Danny Wells, I could get into trouble for shooting my mouth off. And Danny Wells was my supervisor, so he would get a little bit of blowback from that too. So he pulls me over one time, he's talking to me, and he goes, before you say anything, I want you to take a second and review it in your head and think and ask yourself, does this help your cause or hurt your cause? And, I've always carried that with me, which is why in responding to people, especially customers back when I had a restaurant, and especially now my wife, when I want to say things, I will take that second and I'll say it in my head and just kind of play out the scenario. How is this going to go down when it hits her ear? Man, there's nothing, like for young people starting out in biz, man, there's nothing, there isn't a better piece of advice that I can give you than that. Anyway, getting back to the story. They're stuck there. She's worried about her family. I would be more worried about not starving to death. But blah, blah, blah. They realize, hey, there's shit floating around outside. We can go get it. Now, it sounds like a good idea, but I was in the Air Force. I know what a flight suit is. I know what it's made of. I know how it fits. I know it's like a much higher quality version of, say, something a plumber would wear. The fighter pilots have parts of the suit are inflatable, which helps them keep their circulation of their blood when they are doing high G turns. It helps them. There's things that they do to help themselves, but the suit kind of helps them too. It puts pressure in certain places that keeps the blood from pooling in their feet. But anyway, they're basically about to do a spacewalk in what is basically a motorcycle helmet and plumber's overalls, which, as we would say back in the military, you're not just dead, you're like super dead. You're so dead, we're gonna have to bury you twice because you're so dead. I will suspend disbelief because this is a comic book and it's sci-fi. Maybe in the year 2040, the flight suits are basically just like spacesuits now. I don't know. But the cool thing they did here, though, is when these two are out in space, there's no dialogue and there's no sound because there is no sound in space. It's a vacuum. There's no sound inside of a vacuum. There's nowhere for sound waves to move. It doesn't work. But here they are. They're getting the fish. They're bringing the fish back, which is a good idea. Incredibly lucky that they would find the fish. So, okay. Once again, they talk about. Oh! I wanted to go back. He found an extra flight suit. This is what they're talking about here. They said we found an extra flight suit in the plane. There's no plane, not even a training aircraft, that would have an extra flight suit in it, because you get dressed in the squadron building and then you go out to the plane. You don't go out to the plane from the golf course and change into your flight suit out near the plane. So that plane would not have any clothing on it. So yeah, I wanted to go back to that and kind of pick at that. Also, if this is a training plane, why does it include a grill? Why is there a grill with the plane? I don't get that part. For any of you who are wondering, that is pretty close to an accurate sized tuna. Tunas are friggin' huge. If you've ever seen like where your food comes from, tunas are monstrous. And they're pretty damn tasty and they're pretty damn expensive. But yeah, it's just weird that they would have camping gear on this plane that's supposed to be a training aircraft. And as a chef, this is a fillet knife. This isn't. Now, pilots who go out into enemy territory, they have a survival kit, which includes a knife and some other survival stuff. But this is a very specific knife. This is a boning knife, or no, this is a fillet knife specifically for fish. So, yes, she is a chef, but she was pulled off the street. She wasn't pulled out of her kitchen. Yeah, I don't know why she would have that. That's not military equipment. That would not be on the plane. I don't know where she got that. Same with chopsticks. Are they just running around with chopsticks everywhere in their pocket? Just seems kind of weird to me. Anyway, we'll keep moving. I want to keep this under 15 minutes. So yeah, she said she's a chef and she wants to be a pop star, and he doesn't laugh at it. I would laugh my ass off at it, but he was kind enough to not laugh at her. So blah blah blah. Not a whole lot action wise happened in this issue. It's some setup, it's some talking, and then the competent people crash through the wall and rescue them. Thankfully, cut to Britai and the Zentradi fleet. They're tracking, and yeah, that's where we are on this one. Not like I said, not a whole lot happened in this. Okay, there's 3 variant covers of this book. Not a whole lot happened. It's still a fun story. If you're a completionist like me, go get it. If not, I guess wait for the next issue. Next issue is going to have probably quite a bit more of a fight in it, or maybe a little more setup. We'll see. But thankfully, they abbreviated this part where they're stuck in the ship from the anime, and I'm so glad that they did, because if you watch the anime, she goes to like this. They basically start playing. They're adults who start playing house in this inside of the ship when they're lost inside of the ship. It's cringy. It's pretty cringy too. So I'm glad they edited that and kind of wrote these people as adults. Also another thing, every plane has a transponder. So no matter how wrecked the plane is, the plane could be completely disintegrated. That transponder is still going to transmit. So once again, it's another little nitpicky detail because I was in the Air Force and I know quite a bit about fighter aircraft. Yeah, there should be a transponder on that, and these guys, the military command should know, hey, there's an aircraft missing and we haven't accounted for it, but we are getting a transponder signal from in the ship, so we should go dig that out and check it out. But yeah, once again, not going to nitpick it. The story's still good. The book is still flowing. They skipped a super cringy part. So yeah, it was an enjoyable read. And what sucks is I got this on the day it came out. So now it's a long wait till the next issue. But I will be back in a month with Robotech. Till then, I got a few other things to take care of. And you'll see some new videos from me soon. Thanks for watching. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Tell me in the comments if I missed anything or if there's anything about the military, the Air Force, that you would want explained. I guess I can do that in the comics too. But thanks for watching. Have a good day. I'll see you in a month.